Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I am platooned up with Hoops. He's in his AMX M454, which he uses the big gun on there. And I prefer the small one, but he makes that work really well. I'm in my T110E5. Looks like we're in like a tier 8, tier 9 match. There's only 4 tier 10s on each team. Hoops and I being 2 of the tier 10s. Now let's talk about Cliff. I've done this a million times, so I'm going to do it again. Controlling the map of any non-city map is important for vision control, as well as your team being able to move around the map. So if you can control the middle, it helps your team a lot strategy-wise. Now, this location, once the map comes back, is huge from the south. You're going to be able to spot the northern spawn going across the sea line, trying to get into position. And then the counter on the other side would be the F3 location. So to me, the E3, F3 locations are the most important to helping control the middle of the map. And not to mention, if you get flanked from the one line, you have the high ground, so they have to drive up into you. But these are the shots that you can get from this side, and you can see how well it just controls the map. Now, if you win the 9 line or you win the 1 line, there's really just nowhere to go after you win it. So I tell everyone, stay away from those. Now, if you're fast and you're mobile and you can get into a position after you won the flank to help your team, then go ahead and try to do that. However, the central area, if your team doesn't control it, those points are deemed useless in my opinion. Now their scout makes that push right into the E line, and he's going to spot our team, and then me and Hoops don't coordinate this. Now this is what I call a shortcut for the northern spawn, and the nice thing about it is it cuts your drive in half of how long you're going to be in front of the enemy team. So rather than driving from D6 over to E3, we only have to drive from D4 to D3, which you can see is much shorter distance than having to drive out in front of the whole enemy team with our sides exposed. Now, what we want to do, since we generally would push the 1-2 line into the EF line, we did not do that because it's very risky, and the risk right here, as you see, the IS-3 and they're low make that push, which makes you kind of feel bad. Looks like these guys are good players. They understand the importance of this part of the map. Unfortunately, Hoops and I shortcutted it and now put them in a bad situation, and they are both dead. Actually, the low's still hanging on. Now, I drive out a little too far, and I'm lucky I didn't get more punished by their team, which could have been a fatal error, but I really wanted that IS-3 dead, and now this M103 and I are in a crossfire. It doesn't look like he has TDs behind him, or I'm not exposed to them yet. And I let Hoops know, you know what, I'm not too worried about this M103, let's just let him sit there, because to me, like I said before, the 1 line's not that important. Now our 277, which is in E2, takes out that 103, and you can see they made a 9-line push, and it seems like it's going to work because, well, they don't control the middle, but they still have tanks in the middle. So as long as their tanks in the 9-line just fold over to the middle, our team's going to be in a really big predicament. However, I'm showing up here, and like I showed in the beginning, the angles of shots that I have on them is going to be awesome. Like, this is an absolute feast right here that you can have if their team drives into the open, which their team will not do, unfortunately for me. Nobody really has control of the middle. We're still jockeying for it. We have a 268 kind of hidden up on the hill, and I don't play the lighthouse hill very much, but I just kind of feel like that heavy on our team should drive down and shoot the 268 in the back, and that would secure us the middle of the map, but I'm not sure exactly what firing lanes he'd put himself in. Maybe the 279E and the Tiger 2 up on the C line would have shots into him. But we're down 2 tanks, and I let Hoops know, like, I don't have a lot of shots here, but it looks like we're going to lose middle. I still have plenty of hit points to play with. And just communicating with them. Now I lose my Arietta, which was in the middle of the map, but I feel like, yeah, they put crossfires onto him. He was too far out exposed, and now I feel like I'm too far out exposed, and they're gonna close on me. So I let Hoops know, hey, I have lost my crossfires. My tanks in F4 are dead, and it's just me sitting in E4 and the heavy tank on the hill. So looking for shots here. The 13105, I miss a shot, lead him right into the mountain. And the IS-3 auto is determined to, another bad shot, lead him into the mountain. It looks like the 105 is going to start flanking me. So what I don't want to do is be in a crossfire between their 105 and their 279E. So I'm backing up. And I just want to get around this corner, and then sure enough, the 105 comes up behind, and I should have just turned my armor around. Now, I don't know where his third shot went. Maybe he didn't shoot it. Maybe he missed. Luckily for me, I only took 2 shots, and I am on a sliver of health. Hoops is already reacting to this. As soon as the 105 started flanking me, I let him know that I'm going to be in a pincer. Now, our medium tank moves down the 1 line to meet up with our heavy tank. And I feel like the 105 is going to come around the other side, or the 279E. Sure enough, the 279E shows up. Hoops went to take pressure off the F line for me, and the 279E, when he could have just shot at me and killed me, take a gun out of the game, he chooses not to. I bounce the 105 shell, the IS-3 auto, the 105 then misses a second shot. I miss a shot on the 105. And now I know there's 2 tanks behind me. So I have this rock here. I'm going to back into it, give cover fire. The 105 and the IS-3 auto have pushed back. IS-3 or the 105 is reloading. The IS-3 is getting pressure by Hoops, and I'm going to get shots in the M103 as the FOC backs up. Now the medium tank and the IS-3 on our team start to push up. However, there's a tank destroyer that's starting to flank us. So Hoop says, don't worry about the tank destroyer, I'm going to go put pressure on him. And I said, okay, these 2 should be able to push this FOC back, and the 105 pops back up. He's loaded, and he's going to start putting pressure on Hoops. And now at this point, Hoops is thinking that he's dead. However, the 105 either misses or mismanages his shells once again. So I feel like we got lucky dealing with this guy, and I let him know, hey, I got him. I'll put him away. You go focus on those guys. Now I lead him back into the mountain. So third terrible shot on my part. And their Tiger 2 takes out our Patton. So it is me and Hoops and an IS-3. Me and Hoops are on little to no health. And I let him know, if you can hold those guys down, I'm going to go help this IS-3, and I'm going to pincer the 105 and the FOC. The IS-3 takes down the 105, which is great because I felt like he was their wild card. If he just kind of stayed away and shot us from distance, he probably could have won this game. IS-3 is getting shoved in the side by the FOC, so I track him. Forward-facing tank destroyers, just track them, and then you pretty much leave them helpless unless you drive in front of their gun, right? So whenever you're dealing with a forward-facing sniper, just keep them tracked. Now, as we take down the FOC, Hoops pushed on the Tiger 2, thinking that his armor was good enough to hold up and he could bully the Tiger 2. But the Tiger 2 landed a shot into him, and now it's me and this IS-3. IS-3 no longer has any hit points. He's also a one-shot. The FOC pretty much took all his health away, and the Tiger 2 is a 2-shot for us. So we could go at him from this angle. However, if he kills one and we miss a shot, or miss both our shots, then we're going to be in a predicament. So I asked the IS-3 to follow me. Really what I want to do is just stick together. If we can make the Tiger 2 push into us, we can win this advantage. We also have the high ground. And this is where, from talking about in the beginning, where the high ground is advantageous. All we need to do is figure out where he's at. Did he head up the 1 line? Is he still sitting down in the lower area there? We'll find out soon enough, and then we should be able to make a pretty formidable plan on what we want to do. What we don't want to do is go at him one at a time and give him the opportunity to take this game. Alright, so I proxy spot him at the bottom, and I go to see if I can get a shot here, but he quickly turns his turret up, and then that allows the IS-3 to kind of move into position And I don't trust the IS-3 enough to throw my tank away. So I back up to try to make a plan, and the IS-3 just goes. However, the IS-3 penned him, so he left him a one-shot for me, and I'm able to dip my gun down, get a shot into him knowing that he's reloading, and pull that game down. What a monster. Get to end game, I did 6,700 damage, ace tanker, 500 assist, Hoops' end screen, 6,800 damage, like 1,300 assist. He got 3 kills, I got 4 kills, so we got the double ace in our tier 10s, even though it wasn't as impressive as like a full 10 battle. Back half of that battle, we were in crossfires the whole way, communicating to each other on who's going to cover whose side, and it was just really fun. Can't believe we lived through it. Probably shouldn't have, but whatever, you get lucky sometimes. It reminded me a lot of our double ace Panzer 7 on Ensk, and I will link that video to this one. So if you enjoyed this one, check that game out. That game was epic. It's just every time I'm on Ensk, I think of that battle, and now every time I'm on Cliff, I'm going to think of this battle, because it's not very often that you ace tier 10s with your platoon mates, and that is always fun. Just one of the main reasons why I love to play this game. Alright, that's all I got for you. I'll quit babbling. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.